Hey, good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Right, how is everyone? I hope you're well. I hope you're getting through it. I've just done the school run and I'm about to, well, I've got a conference call, which means I'm at home, and then I've got to go out and do some work. So I thought before all that starts, I will get a review done. Now, it's not going to be the Blind by Disasters. That is coming. I'm hoping to get that filmed after work. I do really want to get it done because, you know, it's about time you had a laugh at my expense. But last night I reached for a perfume and sprayed it and thought, why haven't I reviewed this yet? I've had it for quite a while now and it's time I get it done. So I think it's always better to do something positive rather than negative. So today we're going to do something very positive and we're going to be talking about this one, which is cherry tobacco from Pocket Sense. Now, Matt, Pocket Sense has released 4 new ones from this collection, which is the Ne Plus Ultra. Now, again, you know, I'm not that fussed about boxes. That's the box it comes in. If you're familiar with Pocket Sense, you all know what the bottles are like. They're all these 50ml functional bottles with excellent atomizers. Now, as I say, there were 4 that were released. I've put a review up of Oud Opulenza. I've got this one, I've got Fleur de Gal, which is beautiful masculine floral, and there is chocolate orange as well, which I'm still trying to get my head around. One of the reasons, and talking about getting my head around things, one of the reasons I haven't done the review of this as yet is it's something that I really wanted to get down. I really wanted to wear this a lot to understand it fully before I released my thoughts on it effectively. If you like tobacco, you're going to love this one. It's fantastic. Now, I used to be quite a heavy smoker. I don't smoke anymore, I vape, and Rich, my partner in Questioning Sense, he was a very heavy smoker as well. He vapes too. Years ago, when Rich and I were running around in London, I was managing his band, we were obviously out partying and stuff like that. Rich had the most dedicated habit to cigars. He was a very passionate cigar aficionado, and I caught the bug. Me and him were smoking cigars like nothing on earth. Now, I haven't smoked a cigar in ages, but I still have my humidor and I still keep some cigars. These were my favourite brands. Cohiba, Monte Cristo, Romeo Julieta. These were my favourite brands and I couldn't bear when I gave up to get rid of them. So I kept them. I don't smoke them, but I do get them out and have a sniff because I love the smell. And in fact, that's one of the reasons I kept my humidor, is I can stick my head in it and get all those lovely cigar-y smells. So tobacco fragrances are always going to be something that I'm interested in. I love the smell of tobacco. Not so much the smell of it burning anymore. I used to quite like that, but just the actual smell of the tobacco itself, I really, really love. So this one was always going to be one that was interesting to me. Now, if we look at the notes, it's called cherry tobacco, so you'd expect cherry, tobacco, boozy notes, patchouli, and vetiver. That doesn't tell the full story. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spray it, and then what we'll do is we'll break it down. I'll tell you how the perfume behaves on me, where I think it's good for, what sort of occasion it's going to be great for, and where you can wear it, and who I think would benefit from wearing it. So let's give it a little spray now. I am wearing it, and this is going to be, something I'm wearing today, or my scent of the day. So let's give it a little spray there. Fantastic sprayers are these. The Atomizers are amazing. And there. And now we'll get into it. Okay, first off, we have to discuss the cherry in this. Now, what Matt at Pocket Sense has done exactly what the food industry has been doing to us for years and years and years, is they're telling us and they're selling us a cherry that's not a real cherry, and that's what we expect. If you have a bowl of cherries, you cut one open and you smell it, you'll understand it. If you smear it on your skin, then you'll understand it more. What we get in things like yogurts, in drinks, in puddings and cakes, especially bakewells and things like that, is a synthetic cherry, and there is this synthetic sweet cherry note that we expect to receive in this, and it's almost like a Haribo cherry. It's very sweet. It kind of has like a marzipan sort of sweet cherry vibe to it, it suits the perfume. Okay, it works well with the perfume, and this is where it gets clever, because it is such a sweet, unnatural smelling cherry, it doesn't last long. With a fragrance that's called cherry tobacco, you'd expect the cherry to be much more, involved in the perfume, and it's not. You get it in the opening, and it doesn't hang around very long, and then it moves on, and then this perfume suddenly starts to shine. I like the cherry in it, but I'm not sad when it disappears, because it sets a scene, but it doesn't follow through, which is great. It just starts you off on the perfume's journey. Then this becomes about a very dry tobacco, and when I smell a cigar, I get exactly what they're doing with the dryness. It's beautiful. And when you have a cigar like this, there is a dry, natural sweetness to it. It doesn't rely on any outwardly sweeter notes, and the perfume's the same. It relies on the sweetness of the tobacco to deliver a sweet vibe to the perfume. It is a fairly sweet perfume, but not overly. It's not like, you know, there's lots and lots of tobacco perfumes on the market at the moment that rely on lots of honey and vanilla and things like that to really amp it up to make a dense, heavy, sweet tobacco style fragrance. This isn't. This is a lighter, slightly sweet, drier affair. It works very, very well, and because of that, it becomes a lot more versatile. These heavier honeyed tobacco fragrances, which I do enjoy, don't get me wrong, I'm not criticising them, I do like them, but they tend to be much more for colder weather and stuff. Cherry tobacco is one that you can wear all year round. I'm completely happy to wear this on warm days, sunny days, summer's evenings. I think will be amazing, which, you know, is pretty good. The only one I've got that's very much like that would be Ormond Jane's Montabacco. That's one that I can wear all year round as well. But the tobacco is only part of the story. There is some booze here, and the booze is lovely. It just accentuates things. It doesn't dominate. It's not an overly boozy fragrance. But the vetiver is the key. Now, there's vetiver and patchouli, and when you know, if you're like me, you're really into your patchouli, you'll notice a little bit of patchouli as the perfume opens. The tobacco and the vetiver shine together. They blend, but it's like a relay race. The tobacco kind of hands over to the vetiver, and the vetiver pushes forward. It becomes much more dominant than tobacco as the perfume dries down. The patch just adds to it. Now, Matt describes this as a smoky fragrance. I don't think it is. Because of the dryness, I get much more of a dusty affair rather than smoky. So you have this dry, dusty dry down. The vetiver and a little bit of the patchouli just give it a slight hint of moisture. But to me, this is a dry fragrance, which I love. It's really, really good. It's so smooth. What Matt's doing with these new 4-1s is he's really, really blending itself. You know, really, really pushing his boundaries at blending. And they've all been blended perfectly, and this is probably my favourite in terms of how they're blended. It's just so smooth and so beautiful. It's, as I say, it's very dry and very masculine, but it's absolutely lovely. Now, when we talk about performance, this is an interesting one, because when I first got it, it didn't perform that well, but it seems to really, really upped its game, especially in the last couple of months, or the last month or so. It seems to have settled and come alive. It's not a powerhouse, okay? If this was a fighter, this wouldn't be Mike Tyson smashing you to pieces with loads of power punches. This would be a clever boxer that picks you off shot by shot and wins the fight with technique and precision. And that's what this does. This is a very precise perfume. It's quite long lasting, don't get me wrong. You get a good 7 or 8 hours out of it with big projection to start off with and a strong sillage. Bizarrely, the sillage for me seems to stay longer than the projection. After sort of half an hour, 40 minutes, the projection drops right off and it sits slightly above the skin, but the sillage stays there. So when you're wearing it, people are picking up on it all the time, which is nice if you want that, but not overly. It's got a good sillage, but it's, you know, it's non-intrusive, so you don't dominate a room, you don't overly do it, so you could easily wear it to work. But as you wear it yourself, you'll get little wafts of it all day long. Whenever you kind of move around and stuff, little plumes of it come out from under your clothing, and it's very, very nice. It's a really sophisticated one. I think it's one that would do very, very well for an evening out. It's certainly one that you can dress up. I think, you know, it can be worn I mean, all tobacco fragrances can be worn casually, can't they? I think that's part of the fun of a tobacco frag, is wearing it down the pub or whatever. But if you were to go out for a meal, if you wanted to be smart, or if you worked in an office, you're wearing a suit, this would be perfect. It is a masculine fragrance, as I said earlier, but it's certainly one that, you know, a confident woman will enjoy. I think it's probably one for the more mature fragrance enthusiasts. I'm not entirely sure how the thrusters will get on with it. I think if you're a young thruster, you'll probably want something sweeter. You'll probably want one of the honeyed, you know, heavier tobacco fragrances. But if you're a sophisticated young man or a sophisticated young lady, this will be perfect for you because it has class about it. Beautiful perfume. I'm really enjoying wearing this one, and I'm going to wear it to work today. Absolutely perfect. Obviously, the first part of my day will be a conference call, so nobody will be aware of it. I will certainly be smugly sitting on the other end of the screen smelling amazing. Anyway, so that's my take on cherry tobacco by Pocket Sense. It's around £50, so it's proper niche bargain city here, so it's well worth exploring. If you haven't tried any of Matt's new stuff, then I thoroughly recommend all of them, but this one is a particular favourite of mine. I think this and Oud Opulenza are my two favourites. The others I enjoy, but these are the kind of at the head of the pack for me. So there you have it. My take on cherry tobacco by Pocket Sense. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed the video. When I get home from work, I will start the blind buy disaster video. So hopefully that will be up this week as well. Anyway, guys, as always, we really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your support. Stay safe, and we will see you on the next video. Cheers, thanks, and bye.